Hey folks, it's Justin from cartoonsmart.com, and I thought it'd be fun to come in here and just show you guys a little behind the scenes stuff of what I did with the Facebook header. I did not know this until recently. Here, let me bring this in. That for if you have a Facebook page, you can make a video header for it, and it's this really kind of seamless integration. It just plays right away. If you have sound, it's not going to play that right away. Someone would have to kind of click in to see that. But yeah, it's just going to loop, and there's no kind of hitting the play button to. I mean, I guess there's a pause button over here, but it just plays automatically. That's the cool part about it. So yeah, a very practical application of Adobe Animate. Maybe you've never even thought about getting into animation before, and you thought, well, why would I need to do that? But certainly this even kind of not having the tools that I have at my disposal, which those tools being some old artwork I'd done, which is that Ring of Fire and this old bird floating across here. Even if you just made your logo kind of float up and down or something like that, maybe give it a little twinkle or that in itself could look really cool. And all Facebook requires is that you have 20 seconds of video. Okay. And you know what? If you're interested in learning the program, we've got a free intro series up on the cartoonsmart.com website. But if you are just kind of curious of what went into this, I could just kind of thumb through some of this stuff. So for a while, where this bird is just kind of flying across here, and this Ring of Fire is animating, there's really not that much happening. You can see the timeline is there's not a ton of frames in here, but that's because these elements are kind of just looping inside themselves. If I were to double click on this Ring of Fire, for example, then you would see all these keyframes in here, and I can kind of just thumb through them. It looks real fancy, but it's really not. So for example, if I were to select one of these guys, you can just see that there's a glow filter on that. If I were to take that glow filter off, it's a very plain shape, right? It's easy to make little simple shapes like that. And in terms of this bird, I started this in a different file, so let me just jump over to that file and I'll show you guys that it's each one of these elements is just on their own layer. There's really not any fancy motion tweening on here. It's just you start with one frame, go down, make the other one, and then you just go back up to the other one. So all I did to get this into the other file was just you just kind of select it all, go over here to copy frames, and then I just put that into a new symbol, and then you can see, there we go. He's just moving across the screen. I did make a separate symbol just for the shadow, so it's not actually a drop shadow filter, in case you guys are curious what this other layer was over here. And then when we finally get to the point where the little birdie, poor guy, gets swallowed up, again, this is, it might look really nice, but I thought it looked nice, but it's a very simple shape. So I turn that off, take the glow filter off, and, it becomes something that anybody could just kind of, taken a primitive shape and added a few extra points, bent some stuff around and made. So there we go. The one case where I've got a non-classic motion tween in here, let me select this. You should be able to see. So these are they're hardly even new nowadays, but the newest way of motion tweening. So you kind of got this path that the little bird feather follows along here, and that's why you're seeing this slightly different blue line up here for that style of motion tween. And but then otherwise, yeah, I think all the other tweens in here I just did are the classic ones. I still, a lot of this has to do with me using this program, what was Adobe Flash for 20 years. A lot of times I just go, I'm just gonna make a real quick classic tween, and most of the time I think that actually really is the easier way to go. So you can see these are all just classic tweens for getting the text up and down. And this is kind of stuff that anybody could do for their own Facebook pages, just moving text around. It's really not that hard, fading it in and out. Again, even if you just had the logo kind of hovering or something like that for what you do, it's going to look impressive, and part of the reason is that not that many pages or Facebook pages have that video cover up there. And also too, this could be something, that I put on the main website as well. So that's about it. Again, if you're interested in learning Adobe Animate, even if you have an old copy of Adobe Flash laying around, they haven't changed the program that much since renaming Adobe Animate. In fact, even before that, these Adobe programs tend to stay the same for a while, relatively the same. I don't want to say that they're not making new developments or new features, but Photoshop from 5 years ago is not that different from Photoshop today, and same with Adobe Flash, which is now Adobe Animate. So if you're interested in learning that, head on over to cartoonsmart.com. You can sign up, you get a free account. We've got 9 video tutorials that are absolutely free for Adobe Animate. They kind of take you from zero to hero in the program. And then, of course, we've got plenty of video tutorials after that if you'd like to kind of continue learning. And I guess that's enough me being the pitch man for the site. I really just want to come in here and show you guys that we got a fancy new header for our Facebook page. Okay, that's going to do it. I'll chat with you guys soon.